Tucker Carlson. We know him. We hate him. He's got a really ugly face. More important than that is that he's one of the most influential talking heads, maybe in the world, but definitely in the United States. I say it all the time. He gets like 2 million concurrent views when he's doing his show. He has like the 9 p.m. slot on Fox News. And I put the massive air quotes around news here because that's exactly what a judge did here in Manhattan. And we can read this for a quick second because this is so funny. A judge tosses suit over Trump affair story after Fox News argues reasonable viewer wouldn't take Tucker seriously. I couldn't say that more myself. A Manhattan judge has tossed a defamation lawsuit against Fox News brought by former Playboy model who took $150,000 to pay off to squelch her story of an affair with the pre-president Donald Trump, Karen McDougal. So basically what this is about is Karen McDougal was the chick that, what's his name? Trump's old personal lawyer who's like going to be sitting in jail soon if he's not in jail already. Paid her off with campaign funds. That's a whole story that no one cares about anymore, obviously. And she was like, hey, you're defaming me, Tucker Carlson, after Tucker Carlson said she has like a loose pussy or something. I don't know. She got like her pussy looks like a fucking batarang. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what Tucker said. It doesn't really matter. But they said that she defamed her. Yes, this case. Yes. Tucker said that, my bad. Karen said that Tucker defamed her. And Tucker was like, nuh-uh, I didn't. So Karen McDougal had alleged that in the lawsuit filed late last year that Fox News host Tucker Carlson slandered her by calling the payout a classic case of extortion. U.S. District Court Judge Mary Kay, how do I pronounce this again? Viscasil ruled on Thursday that McDougal failed to prove that Carlson was accusing her of an actual crime and whether that would back up a defamation claim. Defamation is really hard to claim. If you didn't know, defamation is actually pretty difficult to get through. There are lots of things that play into it. You know, the state of mind plays into it. Like I think that's called like mens rea of the person, and it's really hard to separate just misinformation from actually lying and trying to hurt someone because intent's in there. It's a really hard thing to prove when we have something called the First Amendment. So that's a hard thing to do in this case. I'm going to turn off chat for a second. Okay, so we can read this a little bit better. The judge said that the lawyers for Fox persuasively argue that any reasonable viewer arrives with an appropriate amount of skepticism about the statements Tucker Carlson makes to the court filings. The judge called the on-air remarks rhetorical hyperbole and opinion commentary intended to frame a political debate as such are not actionable as defamation. So what this basically means. Oh, here it gets even better. I believe reporting something you know is a lie as news or indisputed facts is a very definition of malicious, she wrote. A statement Fox News called the decision a victory for both the network and all defenders of the First Amendment. So listen, here's basically what happened. There was a little bit more choice language in there, but here's basically what happened. The judge said, listen, any reasonable person coming upon Tucker Carlson and actually using their brain to listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth would not take the things that he was saying seriously. There's a reason why Tucker and shows like Tucker Carlson Tonight, I think that what the show's called, or like Sean Hannity or other Fox News shows, 99% of Fox News shows aren't called news on a program that's called news, specifically because they can't do this because they're not reporters, they're editorialists. They're like me. I'm an editorialist. I'm not a reporter. I shouldn't be a part of the press corps for the White House. I shouldn't be, right? I'm an editorialist. I take in news and frame it through a progressive frame. That's not saying what I say is lies. I think a lot of what Tucker Carlson says is lies, but it's not that I do lies, but like the interpretation of the news in a progressive and socialist frame is what I do. I'm not a non-biased news reporter. That's just not what I do. There are other people who do that. We need those people. I need those people so I can do my job. I should be able to acquire unbiased news so I can I can do the thing that I do, right? It's interesting how everyone can take in a certain piece of news and interpret it in different ways. That's why we have something called like the Supreme Court. You know how they interpret the Constitution for the modern day. I interpret news. That's just what I do. Tucker doesn't do that. Well, he does to an extent, but he mostly lies. And the judge is like, "Hey, listen." He isn't filed under news because Fox News doesn't file Tucker Carlson under news. He can't. They file him under a talking head opinion piece, and it's embarrassing to call him parody, like the primetime show on a network that has news in the title. Their primetime show is parody. Wouldn't that be funny? But so they do like a little like wiggle round and call him like just talking head opinion sort of thing, right? They can't call him news because then they'd be accountable to like a reasonable FCC and get like their shit pushed in. So they have to, skirt the lines a little bit. So now we have it in writing. It's been adjudicated, boys. We now can say with full clarity from the court, from a federal judge, not only a regular federal judge, if they didn't say it in this article, but this federal judge was appointed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump's judge has now proven that Tucker Carlson should not be taken seriously. He is a talking head, editorialist, liar, and fiend who does not produce the news, who is not non-biased, and who is a bad person. So thank you so much. This tells me everything I needed to know, but it makes it even more fun to know that my man's is going to get shit on. But hey, listen, it's not like Fox News or the people who watch Fox care. They don't care. They don't. This isn't for them. It's for more people in the middle leaning who think that, CNN and Fox News, they're basically the same. They're not. They're both bad, but Fox News is far worse. And now we got a judge to prove it. So I'm down for it. I'm absolutely down for it. That's hilarious.